Hello guys, in this video I will be reviewing the 2016 Berserk anime, and it's not. I'm gonna start saying that it is far from perfect. That's not to say that I did not enjoy it. Actually, there are some fights from the manga that I have been itching to see in animated form that were quite impressive to see in animated form. Actually, I think the 3D look to it, the CGI to it actually helped towards some of those scenes. However, I do need to address quite a few things about the series before we actually give a final review. I am going to say overall that I am happy that there was some development throughout the series, and hopefully we'll get better for the 2017 one. However, let's get straight to it, onto it. First off, the easiest one is going to be the music department, and I must say the work of Susumu Hirasawa, who has provided music for pretty much every form of live media Berserk. That is from the video games, animated series, the films, everything like that. It was absolutely brilliant. Um, so pretty much I'll leave it out there. The music department was absolutely it was brilliant, and it always is with Berserk. One of my favorite tracks is Hayo, which there's a different version pretty much by the end of each episode, and the world that cuts in abyss. That is the um, the title that it has been given for the time being. It has no official name for right now, but that's what people call it. In terms of the visual style, I must say there's many people that are against the CGI, and I can understand why, because some of the techniques that they were using during the animated series of 1997 were lost by using the CGI. I will admit to that. However, I do not think that is a problem originated by the CGI that many people do not like. And if you don't know what CGI is, computer generated image, basically 3D models, and you make them do different actions, as opposed to doing drawings to show the different actions the characters would make. The style is actually not completely CGI. There are some scenes that are drawn that are absolutely gorgeous, and I think the mixture of the two is actually quite good. However, the techniques that were used to frame the different scenes were not the most effective, and I think they could have done a much better job at that. There is some videos that cover this much better than I can do, because I'm not especially good when it comes to animation. I am because of my career. I have been looking at art styles and all of that, but the thing is, I cannot tell you that I'm proficient at doing animation, because basically the only thing I've done animations of is stick figures, and that is not really the most difficult thing to do, because most of it is given to you. So, in any case, I think in terms of visual department, the graphics are good, the way it's drawn is good, the color theory is absolutely horrendously done in some of the first episodes. But in terms overall, it looks quite cool. It's just they could have done a better job at framing it and looking possibly at some of the scenes as Kentaro Miura drew them in the manga, because he does an absolutely gorgeous job at that in terms of manga, and it's much more difficult, I reckon, to give that dynamism in a manga than in an animated series. So all the glory to him. Now, in terms of the story, I am gonna say I am halfway disappointed and halfway kind of happy about it, because the thing is, it's understandable to a certain extent that they cut off some of the content, because it's just a really long running series, which if they had recreated completely would take a long time. However, we do lose some arcs due to this. You do know from the 1997 series, especially the first episode, the Snake Baron saga, so that's not really important. However, we did, for instance, lose the Lost Children one, which actually was one of the first enemies Guts was facing. That was quite a big threat, you know. So I am kind of disappointed, but I understand the reasons why they have done that. Because otherwise we would just probably need 2 or 3 more animes before we actually get to the 2017 one, which is going to continue once Guts gets the Berserker armor. So in terms of story, I'm kind of halfway there. I understand it, but I'm kind of disappointed. However, they have done, which I cannot remember the name, but basically they are, well, Guts is facing against the religious faction, but the main religious faction of the Midlands uh, has been done quite well, and I must say some of the scenes there were absolutely gorgeous, especially in terms of the fights. I will say the fights are quite thrilling and that a little bit over the top, to be honest, sometimes, but overall it's good, but it could have been so much better, and that's a lot to say considering that the series Berserk is just done by the artist Kentaro Miura, and who's just a master of the craft. Um, so we've gone over the graphics, we have been going over the framing, the story, the music. Now I would like to go into some miscellaneous comments about it. First, there is element of Berserk that is missing here. Basically, they are trying to portray Guts as the complete badass, which he is. However, they have missed completely on his human side, how he suffers, how he does not like to do everything he does, how he's a bitter human that just does this because it's the only way he has to express himself in this world, or in this world. So I am kind of disappointed at the way they have treated Guts as the character. However, it has been awesome to see some of his battle scenes. Then again, Guts, even though he depends on rage and he's a really violent kind of fighter who will be stabbed 1,000 times just to get the perfect aim and kill the enemy. The thing is, he's a tactical, sacrificial piece. Really, he will get himself into quite dangerous situations just to get the upper hand. This is not played that much in Berserk 2016 at all. One of the main times, or two of the main times you do actually get to see this is by the end when he's facing Father Morpheus and his angels. So it's a little bit disappointing, but really what you are seeing in 2016, you're missing parts of the history of the story of Berserk. You are not really getting the best graphic depiction of it. The animation is good, but it needs to be framed much better because sometimes you just lose track of what's happening on scene. However, it does look really cool. And the main character Guts, you just don't get the complete feeling of him because I will always say this: the best source for Berserk is the manga. However, the fans will always look at the anime and such because it's just such an interesting series in so many aspects. It's got a lot of violence. It talks about really complicated issues which do not have a clear answer, like the relationship between good and evil, politics, love, how a relationship can be toxic to both sides. So yeah, Berserk 2016, I am gonna say it's been cool. It's been good to some extent, but overall it has been quite disappointing to have waited nearly 20 years and get this. Sorry, I mean the films did a better job and they're not especially famous for doing the best of jobs with Berserk, but then again, nostalgia's kicking there, so maybe it's just that. So that pretty much wraps it up. I am not especially excited about 2016's rendering of Berserk. However, I must admit that because I'm a fan and I quite like some of the fights, I did enjoy myself quite a lot, especially in some of the more dramatic scenes that just would be done so much better in the manga. So that pretty much wraps it up. See you in the next video.